Your community, your elections. WBRC, you decide 2025.
And we are committed at WBRC to give you all the information you need for Election Day, which is why we've invited all Birmingham mayoral candidates to join us here and answer questions most important to you. Joining us today is Mr. Brian K. Rice. Mr. Rice, thanks for joining us. And again, so the audience knows, we'll have 3 minutes to answer each of these next 3 questions. There's questions that were not shared with you prior to now. We'll be timing those in the booth and then ask each of those as we have to all of the candidates. The first one is about public safety, and both the perception and the reality of public safety in Birmingham has been a challenge at times. What would the Rice administration do differently to increase public safety, both as a reality and the wider perception?
Well, definitely thank you for the question. My concern is there is a perception that crime is down, but I think we need to look at it from a historical point of view. In the first 8 years of Richard Ayrton, Mayor Ayrton, first 8 years of Bernard Kincaid, and the first 8 years of Mayor William Bell, their homicides were in the 600s. Mayor Richard Ayrton was over 100,000 more people in the city. Under the Mayor Woodfin administration, it is approaching 1,000. Over the last year, we've seen a lot of perception around crime is down, but we've also seen it go up 130 or 140%. So we're judging the number based off of the worst year ever when we say it's 50% down. So the perception is that it's down. We've seen a lot of celebrities jump into the conversation, and I'm extremely concerned about that. It's almost as if we're dismissing the homicides and the lives that have been lost. So I want to make sure we address the reality. And it's very important that we are honest about the situation on the ground. My thoughts, well, first of all, we must always try to fully staff the police department. What are we doing to promote outside of the city to recruit more officers? What are we doing inside the city to promote recruiting more officers? The other thing, I am super big on crime prevention. My background is a lot of trades, a lot of construction, a lot of engineering, but a ton of mentoring. I want to make sure we focus on how do we alter the destructive path before that next person breaches the law. We have to reach the mind of the man or the woman or the young boy or the young girl before they make the next mistake. We have to figure out a way to not just keep adding more gun laws. Recently, we've added more laws, for example, the Glock switch laws. For me, if you just add more laws, we're already the 5th most incarcerated place in the world, and that's the state of Alabama. And in Birmingham, we're locking a lot of people up, but it's not improving the crime conditions or the violent conditions. We have to figure out a way to reach more people before. One of the things I love about the police or the Crime Commission report, they brought in the former police chief, and it focused a lot on bringing police athletic teams back. So I'm thankful that that is presented back. I'm a product of the Hoover City police athletic teams. There used to be other teams at the other housing projects, and I want to make sure we invest back into recreational opportunities. But since I'm super big on skill development, professional development, I want to make sure there's an emphasis on trades, on entrepreneurship development, on tech development that reaches both the adult and the youth. What I mean by that...
Sorry, that's our 3 minutes on that.
Okay.
Well, we could perhaps touch on that in question number 2, which is about recruiting jobs and retaining student talent in this area. What would your Rice administration do to bring in more jobs to Birmingham and also keep homegrown students from leaving once they complete their education?
We must show our city that we support local business. We must show them that we support the young professional. We must be honest about that. I'm a product, like many others, where we feel as though there's a lot of barriers when it comes to developing in certain parts of the city. We must show that. We must be honest about that. The thing that I want to do, one of the first tasks that I want to do, maybe within the first 100 days, maybe within the first 30 days, I want to call a meeting with all business owners that are available. And so you're going to have those who may be in the thriving areas of near downtown, but then you have these outer line areas where we need to meet with all of them as soon as possible and have a real conversation. What is it going to take to help you grow jobs? What is it going to take you to help restore these buildings? Because if our business owners in these outer line areas cannot restore their buildings, then there will be no new businesses in them. There will be no new jobs in them. And if there are no new jobs in them, then we're not supporting the mother, the father, that working teenager, and we're not supporting, and then those that live in that house are not able to use those funds to support the youth in that family or the community. So I'm very, I want to make sure we focus on the business owners that are here. I want to make sure we invest heavily in local business first. I'm extremely concerned that I've seen a lot of contracts go to friends in Atlanta and other places. I want to make sure our local business get a chance first. I am committed to making sure we have a chance before those in other states have a chance.
Finally, Mr. Rice, the question that comes up so often in mayoral election cycles is this tension between the 99 neighborhoods in the downtown area. Many of the 99 neighborhoods feel perhaps overlooked sometimes when it comes to paving, abandoned homes, weed abatement, things like that. What would the Rice administration do differently to empower those neighborhoods while also not ignoring the necessity of the success of downtown?
Thank you for that question. What I love about that question is we would never try to stop progress. Downtown, there is significant progress. There's been progress for a couple administrations, so we will support the businesses that are there. But any policies, any plans, anything that's written in that comprehensive plan, anything that's written in these framework plans that says we're going to focus more on demolition in these outlying areas versus development or redevelopment of lots, we must stop that. We must balance development over demolition. So that's one thing that I'm extremely concerned about. I'm also extremely concerned about essential services. I'm concerned about the amount of staff that's in public works. So let's make sure we properly support public works. If we cannot hire fast enough because of HR personnel rules, then let's take those funds and support local contractors so we can reach the areas just as successfully or just as well.
Excellent. Mr. Rice, thank you for your time. A reminder, the municipal election day is August the 26th, and you can watch us live beginning at 9 with our complete coverage there. And as soon as the polls close, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Once those polls close, make sure you have WBRC.com and the WBRC News app for all those results as we get them. And you can live stream our coverage, again, starting first at 9.